So we have the Cougar Classic coming up. It'll be played this year on the 3rd and the 4th of March. I love the Cougar Classic. It's a good time for me. It's become an annual trip. Inadvertently, it became an annual trip before I realized that it was going to be an annual trip. I was in high school when it started, so 97, 98, 99. Those were my sophomore, junior, and senior years. So spring break of 2000 in college happened to coincide with Cougar Classic. So I came down and I got an opportunity to watch Cougar Classic, all of the games. I kept score that year too. And as years went by, it became a priority where it was no longer just a convenience. And I don't say convenience like, oh, it just happened to work into my schedule. I mean more like it was part of my schedule. So the memory I want to share with you is about the Cougar Classic of 2005. And you're like, oh, how could that be your favorite memorable moment of Cougar Classic? This is my top number one, and I'm going to share with you why. So for years Cougar baseball won games, all of its games in the Cougar Classic. It was a tradition. We had held steadfast to that for I don't have the records in front of me. I think it was the first 4 or 5 tournaments. So well past even the time that Oak was walking the halls of Laughlin High School. But 2005 is the most memorable to me because of the things that also going on in my life. At that point, I had gotten engaged to my wife, my beautiful bride, Cheryl. She is a whole wonderful part of me. That's not Cougar baseball related, but it was one of my first opportunities to share Cougar baseball or Cougar whateverness. And identify this is me. This is who I am. And we traveled to Laughlin. We lived in Reno, Nevada, because I had graduated from UNR in 2004 with my bachelor's degree, and we came down for the Cougar Classic. By 2005, there had been a couple of rocky years. Cougar baseball was in a lull. It was maybe some of the luster from that 98, 2000 season had started to wear off, and people, some people didn't have like the forefront memory of the struggles that had been fought for in those early years of the program. And the thing that happened, that's the memory to me is the Cougars won their first game. The Cougars won their second game, and I remember being at Oak's house. We were keeping score. My wife and I were keeping score, doing the announcements. My wife loves to announce the names of the players and all that. She had a great experience, but I remember some of the players. I don't know who it was. I don't have their names, but one of them says to the other one, they're like, "Man, we can win these games." And in that moment, I remember thinking, well, yeah, you're Cougars. This is the Cougar Classic. We win these games. And it struck me, not because they had doubt in themselves, but they were able to find the confidence that maybe they hadn't instantly been instilled with. 96, 97, 98, a lot of the people that were part of those teams had gone to school together and taken pride in, we have to develop a tradition. But we left and we went on. We went on and did other things. Oak went and graduated from a university, and other people went on and lived their lives. And maybe some of the tradition that we hoped that we had passed on, it hadn't been passed on. It wasn't something that we were like living up to. And that you and I, any alumni that's like, hey, I wanna be a part of it. I wanna give back. I wanna contribute or say some things or give some knowledge. In 2005, those boys that were playing in those games had forgotten maybe some of the lessons that we had learned in the early years of building up the program. And it was awesome for me to see this different generation of Cougars being like, you know what, we can win and we're good enough. We can compete. To do. You can be, you can compete, and it's on you. It's no longer on other people. It's up to you. It's up to the Cougars of 2023 or whatever year they're getting into. But at the end of the day, it's not just on them. It's on the people that built tradition and said, hey, we want to be a part of something, to say, hey, we're here for you. We want to contribute. How can I contribute? It's not just up to like this one person being like, hey, let's have some time where everybody comes back and we just hang out. It's up to each individual to be like, this is my skill. This is my skill set. This is what I bring to the table. This is in the same way that, when I was part of the program, I didn't contribute with a bat or a glove or a ball. I contributed with the hard work and the things that I did around the field and keeping it organized and keeping score. That was my contribution. It wasn't in these other ways. And I think for me it's probably easier than for other alumni, because I was used to the non-combatant contribution. And we no longer have the privilege of showing up and playing in a Cougar baseball game. And that's a hard thing to say, isn't it? It's a hard thing to be like, I don't have that opportunity. But in 2005, I got to learn, hey, maybe Oak, you didn't do that great of a job, in 1997, 98, 2000 or 99 to pass it on to the people that were coming after you, to continue to build that up. So it's up to us to remind those, and I'm using 2005 as an example because that was a memorable moment about the Cougar Classic that year. But it's a reoccurring theme, and as alumni, we have that privilege of being a part of something back then. But we also, I've never gotten a no from Coach Petrick. I've never gotten a, hey, please don't come to the field. Please don't be here. Don't be around the kids. That's never happened. If it contributes and builds up the program, he wants you around. He wants the alumni around.